What's up, Bassketeers? Today we're gonna express ourselves in a group therapy session. So now let's talk about our feelings and express ourselves. Hello, my name is Pillowhead and I have lots of feelings to talk about. First of all, I'm very sad about my childhood. Alright, that's enough expressing ourselves. Let's just learn this song called Express Yourself, which was originally recorded by Charles Wright and the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Wrap your mouth around that. And then, of course, sampled by N.W.A. for their song of the same name, Express Yourself, on Straight Outta Compton, which I am not. Straight Outta Sonoma County, word up! That's just fingers, that's not like a gang sign, that's just what your hands look like. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn the sample from the N.W.A. song of Express Yourself, which is just 2 bars repeated over and over, and this was actually re-recorded with a different bass player than the original tune. Mike Sims is the guy who played on the N.W.A. track. So we're going to learn that first, and then we're going to learn the original bass line from Charles Wright's Express Yourself with Melvin Dunlap on bass, which is a little bit more cool and funky. There's more interesting stuff in the bass line. So what I've done in the PDF for today is I've written in the basic bass line with 3 of my favorite little fills that he does, just so you can see some fun variations on that basic line. And then we're also going to play the bridge, because in the original Express Yourself, there is a cool little bridge, which there isn't in the N.W.A. track. There's just some breaks. So there's actually a bass and guitar bridge that we're going to learn. So you need to download the PDF today, which is free, as always. Just click the download the PDF thingy in the description, and you can get that and follow along with sheet music and tablature for your viewing and learning pleasure. We're going to start with the N.W.A. version, and we're just going to do this at tempo. It's not too technically challenging, so maybe take a look at it for a minute, kind of get it under your fingers, and then we're just going to jam along at the song tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know about you guys, but I really struggle to not sing Express Yourself at the end of every one of those phrases. But you're in the privacy of your own home, so you can sing it. You know, I'm trying to seem professional. Underneath, there's craziness, but I'm trying to seem like, oh, just some guy who's teaching bass. Obviously, normal. Way normal. Okay, so that's the basic riff. A couple things in there. Basically, this fingering shape is just your typical second finger start for a E-flat major scale. If you don't know how to play major scale, you can watch my major scale video. You just take that kind of basic shape and play some of the notes from it. Octave, root, octave, third, fifth, fourth, fifth, third, root, fourth, sliding to the third. You can either do a pull off from second finger to first finger, or you can do an actual slide with your first finger, and then second to fifth. So just your typical major scale bass line. Sounds very hip though. Okay, so now we're going to learn the original bass line, which is more interesting and cool than that just 2-bar sample. So a couple things different here. Besides, if you look in the PDF, there's 3 spots that I've marked as variations 1, 2, and 3, which are like the little fills he does. There's another couple things towards the end of that first line that are different. One thing is, in the N.W.A. line, it sounds like this. And that second bar in the Charles Wright version is... So the 2 things different there. You got an extra note. That's an extra note. That's not in the N.W.A. N.W.A. goes and Charles Wright goes and the other thing is there's no pull off or slide there. You actually articulate each note. Each note is plucked. So those are a couple little differences, and then we've got those 3 fills there, which you will experience shortly as we play along with this together. So here we go with the Charles Wright version of Express Yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that just so much cooler than just that little 2-bar loop in the N.W.A version? Those fills are so cool, and it's just fun. You gotta check out this original track. Melvin Dunlap, shout out. We love your bass line, sir. So to play those fills, that first one that I marked as variation 1, the only tricky thing, the left hand's pretty easy. It's just kind of a little octave fifth root shape. With your right hand, what you want to do is rake that D string note. So you're going to pluck 1, 2, 1 on the G string, and then rake down with your index finger again on the D, and then rake down again on the A. So 1, 2, oops, let me play the right note. 1, 2, 1, 1, although that's, you don't really play that B flat, it's just a muted string over that B flat with your left hand. So right hand, 1, 2, 1, muted with the 1, and then 1, 2 there. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. It's a nice little funky muted Reiki pattern to get comfortable with. Reiki like R-A-K-E-Y, not like R-E-I-K-I, the Japanese healing art, just to clarify. Variation 2 is pretty easy, so I won't talk about it that much. Just this. I think all of you can handle that. Variation 3 is a little more interesting. This is a cool little Motown trick, which is, even though we're in E flat, he's bouncing off that open E string, which does not sound good in the key of E flat, but what happens is if you just bounce off it and then head to a scale tone, your ear just doesn't care. It's just like, oh, he played a B flat afterwards, I'm not even gonna notice it. Your ear is very forgiving in these places. So even when you're in a key like E flat, A flat, D flat, major, you can totally bounce off open strings that are out of the key as long as they don't get rhythmic emphasis or ring too long. It'll just sound like a rhythmic element and your ear won't really pick up that, oh, that's notes out of the key. If you like take this track and go to that part and like make a tiny little loop out of that one section so you just hear that note ring over and over, you can really hear that E natural ring, but in song context, it's not even there, so. See, you can't even tell that you're playing a minor second against the root. It's such an interesting thing about how our ear hears music. I know you're singing it. Don't even try to play. Now we're going to learn the bridge part, which is a very cool little syncopated rhythm that the bass plays in unison with the guitar, and there ain't nothing to do but just play it, so let's rock. 2, 3, 4. So I played through the bridge twice there, but in the song you would not do that. You would just play through those 4 bars and then loop back to the main riff, which is the rest of the song, besides the horn break, in which you just stand there idly and enjoy the horn part. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson and enjoyed these last 2 weeks of groovy tunes. I just wanted to give you a break from all the scales and stuff, which can get a little heady. Next week, my book is coming out. My little, sweet little mini ebook called Beastly Scales and Arpeggios will be available for your perusal and purchase. It'll be cheap, $5 I think, and it's 60 or 70 pages, and basically we're building off that beast scale exercise I did last year where you're starting on your open lowest note of a scale and going all the way up to the highest note of the scale and playing every position all over the neck in both directions, just blowing your mind with scales. I've written that out in all 12 keys, and I've also written a couple new Beastly Arpeggios exercises that are in the book as well, which is what will be coming out for the next 2 weeks, Beastly Arpeggios 1 and Beastly Arpeggios 2. So next week, Beastly Arpeggios 1 will come out along with the book, Beastly Scales and Arpeggios. So I hope you guys are pumped about that. I certainly am. And I'm excited to share these new arpeggio exercises with you as well. So stay tuned, check out what's going on next week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.